The Pull Bag is the GCRN's place for everything you need in the comic book world. We focus on new and current comics while also tackling a few back issues here and there. So join the entire GCRN crew and see what issues the hosts have with today's panels. You can find the Pull Bag on iTunes and geekcastradio.com. Make your great escape into comics.
Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Altered Geek. Wow, I just really wanted to say Unlimited again. just episode 4 of Altered Geek Unplugged. I am your host for this week, Michael Powers. I'm joined this week by Steve.
Hello.
This week we've got a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean news. We've got a Batman bomb. We've got listener feedback, and yeah, so we'll just jump right into this, and we will, the first thing I will say is, per some feedback, is we will try and make our topics a little more clearer as we transition from one to the next, because I can see how some people can get lost in our conversations as we ramble from one to the next.
Yes.
Do we want to address the elephant in the room at the top?
I think we'll address the elephant in the room later.
Okay. So we have a title for, I'll just start. We have a title for Pirates of the Caribbean 5. Dead Men Tell No Tales. It's great. It's got a title. Awesome. Was not a big fan of the fourth one. So do you have an opinion on the title?
Well, I mean, it's keeping with that pirate theme, which I'm fine with that. It kind of goes along with the, Dead Man's Chest and the, on Stranger Tides and all those other kind of, piratey named stories. But, the thing I like the most about it is they changed the writers and directors of it. To give it kind of a fresh blood, because the other guys, I think, were getting kind of stagnant on it.
Now, was the fourth one written by...
The second, third, and fourth were written and done by the same group.
As the first one?
Okay. No, the first one was separate, I guess, from what I was reading.
I thought it had the same writer and directors for 1, 2, and 3.
It might have been, but I think somewhere I was reading that whoever wrote 2 and 3 did 4. I'm not sure. I read it earlier. I'm not exactly sure where.
It shows what I know. May have been
IGN or something. I don't know.
My understanding is that the Pirates movies the first 3 were written and directed by the same guy, and then he took them to do Lone Ranger, and they started over with a new writer and director for 4. That was my understanding, but could be wrong. You could be right. I mean, you said you just read something on it, so
I could be wrong. I don't know. I was reading a lot of movie news.
Yeah, I didn't. 4 just felt weird to me. Maybe it was because it was all the blatant scenes that were made for 3D and only played in 3D, but I don't know. I didn't care for it. So
I never saw it in the theater. I saw it after, but to me the story of it wasn't as grabbing. I mean, I think that there was potential there, but I think that they kind of tried to overshoot it with kind of almost phoning it in with a lot of the stuff.
Well, yeah, and I feel like because they went for the 3D side of everything, it was more... The camera didn't move as much as it did in the first 3 Pirates movies, because a moving camera in a 3D movie doesn't work that well. So I feel like the camera was put in a spot and left there a lot longer than it normally would have been in the other Pirates movies. So the action, it didn't feel the action wasn't as visceral or wasn't as fast as it was in the other ones. But I could be wrong, but that's the way my eyes interpreted it. Then, almost a new cast outside of like Barbosa and Johnny Depp.
And Mr. Gibbs.
Yeah. So I wasn't too thrilled about that.
And they changed Barbosa totally in this one.
And I was really disappointed with Blackbeard.
I was too. They kind of made him out to be this badass, and then he went out with a whimper.
Right? I had that exact same opinion. I'm like, why? And it's like everyone's afraid of him. Show me why people are afraid of him, and then he's just gone. Poof. So, all right, that was way too much time to spend on a news story that is just a title.
Yeah. It's Pirates too, so.
Yep. Let's see, what do we got here?
Oh, just a side note, I saw, those meme images that everybody posts or types words to?
Yeah.
Somebody took a mashup of one of the, I think it was Batman Begins. It had the one mobster that basically was being an ass to Bruce Wayne, and at one part early in the movie, and it's got a picture of him. It says, "Who the hell is this guy?" And then it has Bale's Batman saying, "I'm Batman" or whatever, and then it's got a picture below that of Kevin Conroy, and it says, "Bitch, please."
Nice.
I had to bring that up. I think it was funny.
Well, you know what? One of the questions we brought up at the end of last week's show was we wanted to talk about. One of them was about the TV shows that we're looking forward to in the fall, right?
Yes.
But we're going to cover that. Geekcast is going to cover that on the actual official flagship podcast.
Yes.
In the coming month or so. But we do have. I mean, people did write in with their thoughts. To start, we have the always dependable Ryan Cox 20 on Twitter, and if I'm butchering your tag, I apologize for that. But he says he is looking forward to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Blacklist, and he does not think that Once Upon a Time in Wonderland will work out so well in its time slot. I myself am looking forward to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Only because it has Coulson.
Oh yeah, that's the only saving grace for that show.
Yeah, I'm not a big Joss Whedon fan. I do enjoy Firefly. I did enjoy Serenity. Yes, I am aware that they are the exact same thing. Didn't care for Dollhouse. I have not watched Buffy, especially after a friend was attempting to get me into Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it was kind of like when they were winding down the seasons and they did their the musical episode where everyone sings their lines, and I was like, nope, not having it. And I have not watched another episode of Buffy since.
Well, it jumped the shark.
So, I mean, yes, I'm holding one episode against an entire series, but I wasn't willing to sit down and watch it after that. And so Joss doesn't do anything for me. He's not a draw for me. When people got excited about him directing the Avengers, I was like, okay. And I didn't care for his run on Astonishing X-Men. So I don't really have that much of an opinion. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I mean, I probably would have watched it, but then they showed Agent Coulson, and I was like, yes, I'm sold. Totally gonna watch this.
That's the only saving grace for me for that show. I probably, like you said, would have watched it only for the fact that I sat through what ended up being a travesty in Heroes, and ended up watching No Ordinary Family and stuff like that. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually looks more promising.
Man, No Ordinary Family should have just been called The Incredibles.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. It would have been better. I think people would have associated better with it. But yeah, I definitely agree. Coulson is the prime reason to watch that show.
I'm trying to find the Thursday time slot, which is where Once Upon a Time in Wonderland is going. Thursdays at 8 p.m. Yeah, I can see that getting slaughtered. Granted, I don't really watch a lot of comedy shows on Thursday nights, so I don't know.
Well, you have in competition you have Big Bang Theory and uh, Two and a Half Men and various other shows.
Okay, well, that lineup right there, the Big Bang Theory could kill. I guess. I guess that could kill it. Um,
I know it would for me. I'd rather watch Big Bang Theory. I know a lot. I know it's like one of those hit or miss things with people, but I enjoy the geek nods in it, not necessarily how they pull it off, but I like all that. So
right. Um, let's see. And I haven't really looked into Blacklist, but since we decided that it was going to be, I was going to look into all these new TV shows, and then we decided we were going to save them for the Geekcast Radio one. So then I decided not to do my homework. But the title of Blacklist sounds like an espionage thing. Like, have you heard anything about this?
No, I do know that if you have on demand with Comcast, they have 5-minute previews of all of these shows that are coming this fall.
Okay.
They have behind the scenes clips and 5-minute previews of every one of these shows that are coming out for all of the regular cable stations.
I will have to look into that because I do have a cable subscription that I've never used.
I just, for whatever reason, they just turned on my on demand like a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Well, that was nice of them.
And never told anybody. So I've been going through that, watching stuff that's like I've missed, either that's now in rerun or, for instance, the previews, just because I like to go through and watch movie trailers on there.
Right.
So I watched quite a few of these previews of shows. For instance, like the Sleepy Hollow and the crazy ones with
I'm looking forward to Sleepy Hollow.
That actually looks pretty good.
I mean, I like the writing team. I mean, that's Kurtzman and Orsi, right? Again.
Yes.
I mean, I don't have a problem with their TV shows, so I'm intrigued with the idea.
Their films are the only place I bash them. Their television stuff is good.
So,
there's also a show with that J.J. Abrams is doing. Another one.
That's the Fox show, right?
I believe it is.
With Carl Urban.
Yes, Carl Urban, Dr.
Yep.
McCoy, and you have Sulu in the Sleepy Hollow.
That is the other show you were talking about. Is called Almost Human.
It's almost it kind of gave me the vibe of iRobot.
Yeah, I mean, I know what these are. I haven't watched anything. Like I said, I didn't do any homework. I probably should have. But I don't know. I figured we would hit the ones that we were looking forward to. But no, I'm also looking forward to, if we're just, hitting on other things, I'm looking forward to the Tomorrow People on CW. Because it goes back to alphas and heroes.
Okay.
So I want to see what CW can do with it, because they sometimes they get the superhero thing right, sometimes they don't.
It depends on if it lasts anywhere after 5 seasons and goes to 10.
Right. Let's see. Plato's Lament on the website actually said he was looking forward to the Michael J. Fox show and to the Robin Williams show that you
the Crazy Ones.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I didn't know Robin Williams. Well, maybe I did know. I don't know the titles of these shows.
The Crazy Ones is the Robin Williams one.
Okay.
I watched the 5-minute preview, and it's actually quite funny. It's got a mural of him on the wall, and he says, "I'm back," or whatever, and kind of like they did with Tim Allen for Last Man Standing. So I have a feeling that may have been one of the original stations for like Mork and Mindy or something like that back in the day.
Oh, okay.
For him to say "I'm back" on whatever station it was, NBC, I think.
I do like seeing like big screen actors coming back to the small screen.
I think it's actually showing a change of the times, only for the fact, and I think that that's even something we could talk about later on in another show, like even briefly or something. Just the fact that a lot of big name actors are coming back to TV and kind of getting away from as many films. It seems like the films are getting more watered down every year because they keep adding more and more and more.
Yeah, but the one thing I like about them coming back to TV personally is that it seems to add a little bit of like legitness or gravity to different TV shows. It's kind of, like I don't know. I don't know if Person of Interest would be as good as it is without Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there.
But it's nice. Yeah, but we can talk about that at another time. Trying to see if anyone else mentioned anything about TV. I got a lot of people excited for returning shows, like Sherlock on like BBC Sherlock. I think we talked about that a little bit. That's an excellent series. It's all on Netflix. Did you like the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock movies?
Yes.
Like at all?
Yes.
You should check out Sherlock on BBC.
With Benedict?
Yep. Have you seen it?
Is it very, very similar?
It's modern day.
Oh.
It's a modern day take on Sherlock, and it stars Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock and Martin Freeman as Watson.
Oh, okay.
And it's a modern day take. It's been on for 2 seasons. Each season is 3 episodes, but each episode is 90 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So each one is like a movie in and of itself. Now, what's interesting about the whole series is that it goes from like the first and third episodes of both seasons are awesome. The second episode is just kind of ho hum. So and it's interesting because the second series is exactly the same way, but their portrayal of Moriarty is spot on. It's great. It's almost, some of the scenes play out almost as if Benedict Cumberbatch is in fact is Batman, because Batman is supposed to be like Sherlock Holmesian in his detective skills, and Moriarty is like he's crazy. He's like he's borderline Joker crazy.
Nice.
But he's not like animated. Yes, he is. Actually, he is he is fairly animated. But it's a really cool take on the character. It's just a really good series. So people are looking, and the third one's coming back this fall. They said they are going to get a 4th series out of it. I have heard that. People are also excited for Arrow. I'm just interested to see what happens with Arrow.
I think that they're going to jump the shark in that show, but
then
not hard to do with CW.
People are the return of Walking Dead, which I enjoy Walking Dead, but I do not enjoy Walking Dead in the sense that it's a take on the comic. I just enjoy The Walking Dead as a TV show.
Well, I guess that the season 4 they're going to be taking a diversion anyway.
That's fine. They need to get away from the source material. Like my opinion of most, like, I have no problem with people borrowing the concept of a book or like the world that somebody has already crafted, but don't tell me the same story because I've seen it. That's one of the things that I liked about The Walking Dead, the video game that came out last year. It is a video game that takes place in the world of the graphic novel, but you don't play as the characters from the graphic novel.
Okay.
It's a completely new set of characters with a new set of challenges, and that's how it takes place. Like, I think the fault of The Walking Dead was that they were like, we're just going to retell the comic book. I almost feel like they should have just gone and came up with a new cast of characters and just kind of told their own story, but throw in that gravity and the moral dilemmas and the hard choices that those characters have to make. I think that would have been a much better way to go with that series. And then we talked about Almost Human for a second.
Yeah.
And Cosworld on Sci-Fi. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Maybe Sean Alteria will have to tell us what that is.
Cosworld?
He's got it COS World, all one word, Cosworld. I think maybe it's like on about cosplayers.
I know that there's it's okay, it's a reality series.
I'm out.
Which that's one strike against it. Sorry, I can't stand reality TV.
I'm right there with you. Cannot stand reality television.
It's terrible. I wish that they would go back to scripted things that are real. Really scripted. I mean, I know they're not real, but I mean, just something that's intelligent. Like, I don't know what it is, even though I'm trying to find it. It's some kind of...
Is it LARPing? Are you looking for LARPing?
No. Well, I went to the Sci-Fi's channel and they're like, boo. I know that they have other reality shows on there, and they claim that it's unscripted.
But see, that's the problem though. Like, I used to love the History Channel and the Discovery Channel, and now they're just like swamp people and moonshiners and
yeah, it was intelligent when it started, and now it's just anybody can get a show.
Where's my Modern Marvels? Where's my Extreme Engineering? Where's like where is that stuff? Oh, I know where it is. It's all on the Sci-Fi Channel, which nobody gets.
Yeah.
Or not Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, we don't get it either.
No, I'm sorry, not Sci-Fi Channel. The Science Channel.
Yes.
Okay. Because everyone gets Sci-Fi, but no one gets the Science Channel.
Cosworld is... it's so far a 6-episode docu-series that lifts the veil of the imaginative world of cosplay competition, which anytime they do... And they've already got Heroes of Cosplay, which I've heard from the cosplay community that they hate it. It's a blasphemy of a show because it's not actually presenting cosplayers in their true form.
Okay.
So, like, I mean, they make it all reality TV it. So, I mean, it's... Okay. So it's got them in an outrage. So it doesn't properly represent them. So I can kind of get that. But no, that doesn't look appealing to me. Only for that reason. It's a reality thing.
Yeah, I'm out because it's reality television. I don't have time to watch. I mean, for me, reality television, scripted or unscripted, it's the appearance of it, and I don't really subscribe to like celebrity gossip or any of that. I don't really care about any of that stuff. So I don't really care about watching other people live their lives. Or like, I don't really care what people do in the sanctity of their own home. So, are there any TV shows that just briefly that you're looking forward to? I mean, because we're gonna go in depth, but we might as well. I mean, I threw in one.
I mean, I'm not really looking forward to anything new for the most part. I mean, I'm looking forward to just seeing how the Robin Williams show it turns out. I don't have high hopes for it, but I'm still willing to give it a shot and watch it.
Okay.
And then the Almost Human, I'm kind of intrigued by just because I like Carl Urban, and it's kind of a iRobot, but for TV.
And it's J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think he does that kind of stuff well. I like his TV stuff more than his film stuff, but not that I dislike Star Trek, because I don't for that. Right. I just dislike the writing for the films of Star Trek. But
agreed.
That's more or less.
Well, should we move on to the other question that we had from last week?
The one about
video games?
Yes, we should.
I I asked if you guys had a fight, a player in the fight between the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, and what your favorite video game franchise was. Um, I'm not trying to talk down to you guys, but I was honestly I was expecting to see more old school franchises. Um, but apparently, I got a lot of feedback from people saying they like the Uncharted series. Not a bad call. Um, let's see. We had
Uh, Platos Lamont said that he would have liked to have that his favorite was Uncharted, and then
that's what I
he
was
said
looking for.
maybe Mario.
Okay, yeah, I think that was the oldest. That's like the oldest franchise that was mentioned. Um, I know that Sean Alteria said that he's an Xbox guy, always has been, always will be, until a system, until like the PlayStation 4 can change his mind. He's not going to buy. He doesn't buy into the hype. He just buys into the box. And he said he's looking forward to GTA. That he likes that franchise. And let's see, Ryan Cox on Twitter also said that he was down with the Uncharted franchise. I was honestly expecting to see more like Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, like, Sonic. Um Personally, I love the Uncharted series. I enjoyed all three of them, but like um I don't know, what are some of yours? Like, what's your favorite franchise? Some gun to your head, what's your favorite franchise?
Out of old games,
Any. It doesn't.
any?
Yeah, this the entire. You could pick Pong for all I care.
I have, well, I have a multitude, like some that go back decades, and then some that are not that old. Newer games, I would have to say I like the Batman Arkham series.
Okay.
Just because I like the gameplay and I like the fact that it's Batman in that. I know that the gameplay is not original. I know that I just like the application of the layers of Batman being pasted over top.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, like we talked about on the last episode.
Because I mean, I'm sure it's the same as like playing Assassin's Creed or anything like that. It's just you have a different skin and different abilities with the polygons. I mean, that's
Yeah. In fact, I think that if you enjoyed the Arkham games, you may enjoy the Assassin's Creed games.
I know I've watched the Assassin's Creed game, played one of them at least. So I mean, I don't see it that far off, but I like the Super Smash Brothers series.
Okay.
I have all the games of that. I really enjoy that just because it's a fun button masher, and beat 'em up game.
Yeah, I have played the Super Nintendo. Not yeah, I played the Super
Nintendo
Nintendo.
64.
I played the Super Nintendo version. I that's the one I have. No, I played the N64 version and the GameCube version. I haven't played one since those. Because I didn't buy it for the Wii, and I don't have my Wii U anymore, so I won't be getting the next one.
I don't have a Wii U, and I don't plan on ever getting one, so I won't be getting the next Smash Brothers. It's, I mean, honestly, the Wii U is not a next gen console. It's an upgrade of the previous gen console.
When I had the Wii U, I enjoyed it. The problem is I bought it before there were any games, and now when I bring it up to my wife to buy it, she rolls her eyes. And as we talked about on, I believe we brought it up on like first show or second show, if I can justify something to my wife without her rolling my eyes, I know I'm good to go with purchasing it, but I can't get her to not. I can't mention the Wii U without her rolling her eyes. So like I can't justify it enough. Even though there's like I want to play Pikmin 3, I can't justify it so that she doesn't roll her eyes, so I can actually go and buy a new Wii U without her, looking down my nose at me. So
nice.
That probably won't happen until they drop the price on it.
I'll probably get it when it's used. That way I can get it for Smash Brothers and Mario games and stuff like that. But I don't really play my Wii that I have now, other than when I want to play the new Super Mario Brothers game and then the Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Right. Yeah,
And
I have a Wii and it's not even hooked up.
I
So,
have stuff on the virtual console, like some of my favorite games are the Mega Man X series,
I like that series. That's a fun
uh,
series.
Donkey Kong, uh, Streets of Rage.
Okay.
Uh, I'm getting old school with it. Sonic,
Well,
Mario.
it is the virtual console. You have to, that is kind of all old school stuff.
That's all the stuff I mostly play. But um, as for like PC gaming, I like the Command and Conquer series. Pretty much anything in there I can sit there and play. I still to this day have Red Alert 2 on my PC and I play it weekly.
Now, do you like the Command and Conquer franchise or do you like real time strategy? Because I know you were excited for StarCraft 2.
I liked StarCraft 2 when I played it, but I didn't like it as much as Red Alert as Command and Conquer.
Okay.
I enjoy the Command and Conquer interface more, being that I can select more than 16 units or whatever. I mean, I like having platoons of guys going in swarms when I attack.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
But yeah, I like those and like the Diablo series and pretty much the only games I play. I'm still currently re-downloading DC Universe Online so that I can play that, and it's a mega file.
Does that have cross PC play?
The DC Universe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that on my PS3. Maybe I could
Nice.
maybe I could roll with you. But my when it comes to me, my gun to my head, my favorite franchise is Metroid. I've always liked it. Granted, I haven't played every game. I haven't played Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. But I have played Metroid and Super Metroid, and I've played Zero Mission and Fusion, and I played Metroid Prime. Really, I loved the hell out of Metroid Prime. I have not played Metroid Prime 2 or 3, but the only reason I didn't play those is because I believe one of my cousins stole my copy of Metroid Prime 2.
What?
So, because what happens is, what used to happen is the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday, my cousins and I would go with my grandma and we'd go shopping, like Christmas shopping, and she'd take us out there, and we usually just went to Best Buy at like 5 o'clock in the morning and loaded up a cart, and she'd buy us all the stuff that was in the cart and stuff like that, and it was all supposed to be for Christmas. Well, it's in usually we would leave some of it for Christmas, but my cousins and I would always just open up some of the stuff early and go on our merry way. But when Metroid Prime 2 came out, I think it was like 2004, which was like the last time I went shopping with them. The other half of the story is both of my cousins have birthdays in December. And so
Okay.
when we would go, they would be like, "Well, this is for my birthday." And so my grandma would be like, "Okay, you can have these." So like they would have literally nothing under the tree. And so the last time we went, my cousins pulled that stuff on her saying, "This is for my birthday." And my grandma, I could see that my grandma was, kind of upset because we did it to her every year. And yeah, I was guilty of it. But this time I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave all my stuff here. I'm going to leave all my stuff right here in the living room by the tree, and you can wrap it, and I will come back from school on Christmas, and I will open it all up. Well, when I came back on Christmas Eve and I opened up all my presents, only one of my presents was there. All the games that she had bought me were gone.
What?
And to this day, I think that my cousin took them. I had Metroid Prime 2, Echoes, I had GTA San Andreas, and I had Metal Gear Solid 3, all waiting for me on Christmas Eve, and then they were not there. I was so...
Oh,
and
that's messed up.
that got me out of gaming, because I didn't pick those 3 games up. I actually fell out of gaming for about 2 years. It wasn't like I was enraged over not having those games to play. It was just like because there was such a gap in my game playing, I didn't follow one thing into the next. But Metroid is one of my favorites. I actually own the Metroid Prime trilogy on the Wii U. That's in the Steelbook case.
Oh wow.
Which apparently goes for a little bit of money on eBay. I do like the Uncharted franchise, like everyone mentioned in their stuff. It is pretty stellar. But if I have to, it's Metroid. But my favorite current gen franchise has outside of Uncharted. In fact, I may even like it more than Uncharted. Has to be the Infamous franchise because they do such a good job of making you feel like a superhero.
Nice.
And it just gets better. I mean, yeah, the Arkham series does a really good job of making you feel like Batman. But Sucker Punch crafted a new superhero, in their own world and let you run free and play as him. So, which reminds me, I still have a PS3 sitting around my house. So if you ever want to play PlayStation games, I can lend it to you.
Sounds good.
So I know you don't. I know you have an Xbox, and so you can't play the Uncharted games that everyone said was their favorite franchise or Infamous. But I have a PS3 that I can lend you, so
cool.
You can play them. Well, that's about 35 minutes of show. Do we want to get into the? Do we want to break the embargo?
I think we should break the embargo, being that this is actually the most information that has popped up that's actually relevant.
And yeah, I say it's very relevant.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this makes me not want to talk about it ever again. Okay, I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off.
I agree.
Slash Film and IGN and Slash Film are both reporting that it is official that Ben Affleck has been cast as Batman in the Man of Steel sequel. Just let that sink in for a second.
I have no words. It's so.
I don't have anything. It's weird the way I feel about Ben Affleck. I don't have anything like against him, but I don't
picture him as Batman at
all. I don't like Ben Affleck. And
I don't either.
And it's hard because I can't really say that. I mean, yeah, Daredevil was crap. I never saw Jijili, so I can't hold that against him.
Crap.
Okay, well, I haven't seen it. I know everyone else says it's bad, so I would probably say it's bad too. I mean, but everything I've seen him in, and I know he's apparently a stellar director. I don't have an issue with him. It's just I don't like him. It's kind of like I can only liken it to the way I feel about Leonardo DiCaprio, where it's like I don't have a problem. I like Leonardo DiCaprio as an actor, but I don't go see a movie because he's in it.
Yeah, I'm of the same opinion.
I saw this. Ryan Cox 20 brought it to our attention. 30, 40 minutes before we started recording,
and then I started fan raging.
Oh man!
Immediately, I didn't even waste time. I was just like, no.
I don't even want to talk about it. I liked Henry Cavill as Superman. I loved it.
I could see that, and they had a nice nod to Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, but I liked everything about Man of Steel, and from like the get go, and I still like Zack Snyder. It's just for some reason Ben Affleck being attached to this as Batman, like it's like tying us. For me, it's like you have Zack Snyder, you got Henry Cavill who made an excellent Man of Steel. We don't know if Nolan's producing this. We know that Legendary Pictures is no longer producing this. It's kind of like all that stuff just got like a chain wrapped around its ankles and then a cinder block thrown on that has Ben Affleck's face on it and thrown into the ocean. And it's like, I can't, that's honestly how I feel. It's like he tips it so far the other way that I'm no longer interested. I don't care if it's Batman Superman World's Finest. I don't care if it's Man of Steel 2. I don't care if it's Batman versus Superman. Obviously we say all this having seen nothing. We haven't seen him in the suit. We haven't seen him as Bruce Wayne. There isn't a role out there where I can actually say that's Bruce Wayne, that is Batman.
I can look at him and see him as a passable Bruce Wayne, but as Batman, no.
Well, because the only role I have that would be remotely like close to him being actiony is Daredevil, isn't it? Like has he done anything like with other like physicality? Like
no.
I mean,
he's done like The Town, but that doesn't even count.
I just maybe I need to like look into it some more. And I know we had this. Was it on the last episode? We had this conversation where it's like we don't really want to. You can't really judge something until you see like a final product. And it's not like I'm not gonna see this movie. But
I'm tempted not to.
It's not like I'm not going to see it, but at this moment, it is literally like an iron ball and chain around this movie's ankles, and it got tossed into the water. I'm completely uninterested. And it was a lot of fun for us to have like conversations behind the scene and say, oh, we're under a Bat embargo and we're not going to talk about it. And now I just don't want to talk about it.
I never wanted, I don't know. I am so like flustered with the whole concept of him playing Batman. I don't even care at this point. I'm like, I honestly don't care if I see that movie.
I mean, I threw some stuff out there on Twitter too after this was announced, and Ryan Cox 20 said that, you know, Casey Affleck is Robin. And I was just like, you're not helping.
No.
I know he meant it as a joke, but I was just like, you're not helping the situation at all.
I don't see that dude is Batman. There's no flipping way.
Maybe once they put him in, I need to see him in the suit. Maybe we can revisit this when we see him in the suit. Because I mean,
yeah.
Maybe it'll be the gray and blue from like Adam West.
No.
Come on, let's just drive it all the way into the ground.
Yeah, this just piss everybody off. Oh my god. I don't even know what to think about this. This news is just terrible.
And it kind of. I wanted to get to this to talk about it, but now we don't want to talk about it, and I feel like it affected the first half of the show.
Okay, well, let me pull up some quotes I've seen popping all over Twitter over the last like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Ender from he's on the Pull Bag with Mike Blanchard, and he's on Radio Free Cybertron. He just puts all of a sudden I want an Affleck Batman movie with Jason Lee as the Riddler. And then I'm seeing what's the other one? This Dan Stapleton, he puts, I honestly cannot imagine Ben Affleck doing a Batman voice that isn't hilariously bad. You thought Bale got shit for his. This'll be epic. Another one says, I don't think the man can pull off the voice, which is 64% of Batman's intimidation factor. The rest involves snapped tendons.
Now, there are some people out there that are okay with this. One of them being at the movie Bob, or Bob Chipman from The Escapist. He said that I think Affleck as Batman. I think of Affleck as Batman, and what comes immediately to mind is something between Adam West and Kevin Conroy. Now, hear me out here. sometimes sometimes when it comes to this stuff, I need people that can put this stuff in perspective. Because sometimes I can't see something some way, and it's like my immediate gut reaction was Affleck blah, and this is you started looking at your tweets and I started looking through mine, and his actually just popped up, and it's kind of like maybe I could potentially see something in the middle there. I mean, it doesn't change my opinion that much, but it's like sometimes I just need to see what other people have to say, so I can get like a different perspective on it.
I'm gonna read some more tweets. These are just it's funny. Nerd news on Nerd News tweets on Twitter puts Ben Affleck gets announced as Batman in the Man of Steel sequel, and the internet suddenly bursts into flames. Neil Kaplan, voice actor. So what do we call him? Batfleck? Bentman?
So now here's a question. So someone, Movie Bob posted again. He says, "So this makes Affleck the first person to play Batman and Superman? Did he voice Superman in something? Did he ever put it on? I don't remember. I don't remember him as Superman.
Oh, he was in a movie where he played George Reeves.
Oh, that's right. I don't remember
and
the name
so
of the movie.
he did play that kind of dark. I guess I might have to go back and watch some of his movies and just for kind of perspective to check.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, we can share our gut reactions here, but it's kind of like sometimes you just need stuff to put things into perspective. And I just because we haven't seen something doesn't mean he's not right for the role. I mean, like I said, we can revisit it again when when we get him with a suit on. So
usually when I think Ben Affleck, I think comedy. I don't think well, I mean, he's in like every Kevin Smith movie.
No, I'm sorry. This is because of how Man of Steel ended. But at the Catbot on Twitter said, "I look forward to Batman twisting some thug's head off in the upcoming Batman Superman crossover." Oh man.
It was Alan Tudyk that said Casey Affleck should play Batman or play Robin. And then Neil Kaplan says, "Nah, though I hear the role of Batmite is available."
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe
they should not do a Robin.
No,
in all honesty, I think that they should. If they're going to do any sidekick, I think they need to do a Nightwing.
I think that's just coming up because he's got a brother in the film industry. That's why that's happening.
I think they're just being smartasses with it. But
honestly, I think this might turn out to be another one of those, because just last week we were kind of saying, we've got faith. Like we were talking about Ryan Gosling and Zac Efron being in the Star Wars movie, possibly being cast in the Star Wars movie, and we're saying that they have an idea, or they have a vision, or they see something in these people that meets the role that they want, right? Well, the same could be applied here, and it's kind of, we brought up the whole, like, Heath Ledger. No one saw him as the Joker before he was the Joker.
True.
So I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. Yeah, I want to pile on with you. I really do. And I find all these tweets funny. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here, so it's not just like all over the place, and so that we can kind of generate a discussion
yes,
amongst our fans and listeners and stuff. But it's it's kind of like I do agree with everything that everyone is saying right now, and it's all very funny, but the same thing was said about Heath Ledger as the Joker. And
I saw cosplayers, one of them that plays Batman a lot in a lot of conventions, just and he was saying that people were having the same gut reaction about Nicholson playing Joker and about Keaton playing Batman, and so I mean it's always gut reaction is always going to be the worst thing in the world.
No,
Matt Damon is Robin.
I'm fairly certain that if Twitter had been around when Bale was announced, I'm pretty sure the same stuff would have happened.
Oh, I'm sure.
But the only problem is Bale had a catalog. Like, he had Equilibrium and he had American Psycho. Like, there were two movies that showed that he could at least play the role,
Dark,
or either side of the role, Bruce Wayne or Batman. And I just, maybe it's because I can't find Affleck, and I haven't seen him in an action role, and the only one that jumps to mind is Daredevil. So if anyone's got a movie, if anyone can think of one of Ben Affleck's movies that justifies him as Batman, not as Bruce Wayne, but as Batman, why don't you let us know either on Twitter or on the site?
Or give us a good film of his that just kind of indicates, that we can watch. That, I mean, it's essentially saying the same thing as what you said, but.
Well, I mean, he's in the town, isn't he? Or is he just directed?
He directed and he acted in the town.
Okay, and then he did. I feel really bad for not knowing the most recent one.
Wasn't it
Argo?
Argo, yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I haven't seen either one of those. I mean, maybe I should get off my ass now and see them so I can see where people are okay with him being cast. Maybe they're just pulling it all out of there. So.
I have a problem with it. I think just because I don't see not only the appearance, I don't see him doing the voice justice. I mean, Bale, I still think that's a travesty in itself, but because Batman doesn't need to sound like this.
Okay, and if Affleck pulls off Batman without sounding like that, does that make
now if he just I would say so. In a sense, but it would depend on how he acts physically as Batman, though. Bale did a good job pounding guys, playing Batman, and slugging people. The only problem I had was I had a hard time distinguishing what he was saying as he was pummeling people. Kind of like Bane. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it just...
I need to rewatch that movie. I haven't seen it since it was in the theater.
I haven't watched it since I brought it home on Blu-ray.
Lucky you have it on Blu-ray.
Yes, but yeah, I just I get the gut reactions too, and like you said, it's just initial shock value hitting us, and until we actually see him in the cowl, everybody's going to be hating on it anyway, because we have no idea what this Bat costume is going to look like, because they're not going to leave it the same as the Nolan ones.
And I like that one so much.
I think that they should do a nice variation between that and maybe something from maybe the Arkham game, or maybe
but wasn't the Arkham game basically borrowed from...
Yes and no. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. I mean, the Nolan ones was more of a body armor, like an entire Kevlar armor, whereas the Arkham games wasn't necessarily. It was a lot of gadgetry all over it.
What if they take a page out of Man of Steel and actually give him the gray suit, a la kind of like what Cavill wore in Man of Steel?
Honestly, I think they should go that route. I mean, because it's been a black suit the entire time in the films.
But I'm saying not armor. Not, it doesn't look like armor like it does.
No, I see what you're saying. Like, make it
more
look like
like spandex, but not spandex.
Yeah, well, I mean, like Cavill's armor or suit looked kind of like that. I mean, it looked kind of spandexy, but it wasn't.
Right.
And I agree with that. I think that they should go that route, which again would kind of point it towards the Arkham games,
or towards Frank Miller's Batman,
or that.
So, which is apparently where they're drawing inspiration from. So
I mean, I'd be fine with that too, and as long as they do it justice, like as long as they don't come up with some crazy design.
You know what? Now that I sit here and I think about this, and I'm actually kind of trying to envision it,
Well, if they're trying to base it off of the Dark Knight Returns, they're still way off on all the age of everybody.
But you know what I keep thinking of? For some reason, I think that he, and again, this goes to him being, because you said he could play Bruce Wayne.
I could see him definitely playing Bruce Wayne.
Because for some reason, he looks like a live action version, like, of the DCAU Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Like, to a certain degree, like the chin structure, like he can be made to look like that character. So I mean, maybe I don't know. It's gonna come down to the suit, people.
I agree. I think it's gonna be down to the suit. And I love everybody saying, "Oh, an older Batman." It's like, no, he's not gonna be that old. I mean, really, it's just gonna be, you know, he's not gonna be green and in his 20s. He's gonna be like mid to late 30s.
I will say this: if Jennifer Garner ends up in this movie, I'm out.
Oh, I definitely agree with you there. If she comes in as Vicky Vale or some other crazy bitch like that, I'm done.
I can't. Sorry,
I can't stomach her. She is a throwaway character in everything she's in.
I can't.
Other than Alias, forehead. I guess.
I can't look at her forehead. I can't.
Five head.
Her forehead. I can't look at it. Just can't stand it. That's the one. For some reason, whenever I see her on screen, I don't see her. I see her forehead. I don't know what it is, and it doesn't matter what hairstyle she has. It's just like her face is awkwardly proportioned. It's like more forehead than anything else. I'm just like, what is going on with this person? And she just seems, you know, I don't know. I've been trying to think about this since I watched Elektra the other day. I don't think she's ugly. I just think she's like one of the most normal looking actresses.
I can kind of see that.
Like she's just normal, but for some reason she's a movie star.
Yeah, there's nothing special to her.
So I mean, I don't know that. I don't mean that to sound as bad as it is. I mean, I don't know her personally. Okay, fine, you do, but I don't know her personally. But I'm just saying, like, I think that's what it is. She just looks so normal, and I can't understand why she's a movie star. So, but
getting off that train wreck.
Yep. I don't know. Do we just want to submit questions for the next episode? And
yeah, I guess we can do that rather than
or is there anything you want to talk about? Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, as for Star Trek, I posted earlier this week that there was they're still working on a concept to try and bring it back to series, and I guess they're trying to and there's actually 2 in the works that are trying to get CBS Paramount to pull the trigger on it. And it's between many of the previous Trek actors. There's one show that Michael Dorn, who played Worf, is trying to come up with a Star Trek Captain Worf series, which takes place more on the Klingon end of it, which I would be fine with. I mean, as long as... And this too kind of boils back into our previous discussion about limited episodes in a season. I think that they should do... If they're going to do a Trek series to make it cost-effective, I would say due to, you know, the 10 to 13 episode seasons.
I took some heat over that.
Yeah, I know. But... but no, I mean, I kind of get it. My wife kind of brought up on the side because I was kind of pissing and moaning about it after the fact. And she says, yeah, but it's those throwaway episodes that help build ratings and give them more money. So,
but do they?
People watch them. I turn them off.
Oh, okay,
I will skip them.
All right, people watch them, but you're still some of those end up being like Monster of the Week episodes, where they're spending money on special effects that have nothing to do with the main story.
True.
Like, I mean, that it's... I mean, yeah, they're there because they get to run 45 minutes of a show, and they get to have 15 minutes of commercials in there, and people are buying that. And yes, there are like the hardcore fans that will just watch every episode, and there are people that, you know, just want the story. But whether it's a story episode or it's like that, the Monster of the Week, the throwaway episode, there's still special effects. The special effects budget is still being used. I mean, maybe it's not being used to the fullest potential as it is with other episodes of the series, but that's still money that's being just wasted.
Yeah.
To tell, you know, and maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. I don't produce TV, so maybe whatever. But that would be my that would be my comeback to that, because you know, it's like, you're not, are you making more money on it, or are you really just covering your butt on it? So
I think they're just covering their butt, but yeah, and there also there's another one called Star Trek Renegades, which that is various cast members from all the different series minus TNG. You have Walter Koenig, who played Chekhov,
okay,
coming back, and it's like a Section 31 type storyline.
okay,
Mike Dodd, who is one of my co-hosts on Future Imperfect, which is a Star Trek podcast that we do, just interviewed Tim Russ, who plays Tuvok on Voyager.
I like him,
and he's directing and acting in it as well. And I guess they've got various other actors from the different series, but he's like second in command to Admiral Chekhov, who is the head of Starfleet security.
Okay.
And it's basically a rogue group of Federation officers with a bunch of other people that have their own agendas, kind of thing going on. But they're having to re-infiltrate Starfleet because something's not right. And Tuvok's the head of this kind of operation next to Chekhov.
Okay.
I don't understand how Chekhov is alive.
Well,
in the late 24th century.
Is he playing Tuvok?
Yes.
Oh, because I know that he was in like one of the movies as, I think he was in Generations.
He was in Generations. He was on the Enterprise B as just a regular human, but in Voyager he was Tuvok the Vulcan, and they actually have an episode where he goes back in his mind with Janeway to the Excelsior, and he worked with Sulu.
Okay.
On the bridge there. So, and that was when he was a cadet or ensign or something.
Okay.
So I mean, it kind of, he has previous history with the original cast in essence. So, but it doesn't just. I'm wondering how they're going to explain Chekhov being alive in the 24th century. I mean, he looks old as hell, but I wonder how they're going to do that. But it sounds promising though, and I guess it takes place like 10 or 11 years after Voyager ended.
Okay.
So they're continuing with the original timeline. So. That sounded interesting to me anyway, so.
I like Star Trek. I mean, it'd be awesome if it came back to TV. So.
And it's kind of funny because they're using the Indiegogo or whatever, and various sites where fans can donate money to help fund it.
Okay.
And the actors and production people all worked on Trek before. So
do they have like a Kickstarter, or is it just?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they have a Kickstarter on their site too, but they're using that other source now too.
Right.
But yeah, it definitely looks interesting. I guess there's going to have something going like teaser wise again in I think October. So
we should talk about Kickstarter sometime.
Yes, definitely should. And then just for a funny video thing that I saw yesterday on YouTube, I don't know if you've seen it. It's Nicolas Cage Gets Around Volume 1.
No, I have not.
It's a parody of Nicolas Cage mashup. Just look it up on YouTube. And it's basically got like a credit scene, and you see it shows like his name pop up on like 10, 12 different movies. And they superimpose his face and his head on different actors or actresses in different films and input him into the story of other films. So like in The Breakfast Club, he's the redheaded chick.
Jeez.
Talking to the principal, like arguing, and it looks hilarious because the way that his head's moving and his face is moving in it, and the dialogue they choose. And he looks, basically the same. Like they got him in Harry Potter, they got him in The Breakfast Club. They got him in the Mean Girls. They've got him in some Michael Keaton movie. I mean, it's just funny the different films he shows up in.
You should put a link in the show notes.
I'm definitely going to do that because it's hilarious. I've watched it yesterday and I was like, that is just sad, but it's funny. They took his Ghost Rider scream from the second film where he's like going all flame on. They put it in Jaws where the guy's like yelling about the shark.
Nice.
It's bad. But yeah, I'll definitely put that in the show post.
All right, I'm trying to go back to where I submitted a bunch of questions to you in direct message so I can ask them one of these fun questions. Let's see. What should I choose? Do you have a question in mind for them?
One of the ones I posted on about yesterday was if there was anything that people wanted to see continue or change, or just elements that they liked about the show itself. Not necessarily about the topics that we're talking about, but just in how it's playing out so far.
Yeah, did we do a better... Yeah, I want to know if we did a better job. This is not my question for the week, but I want to know if we did a better job distinguishing what we were talking about. I mean, I know like we there was a, you know, we stated what we were talking about, and then we meandered around in that topic. But we'll see if that goes. I want to know if that goes over any better. But no, I think, you know, I'm just gonna go for it. Why don't, this is just for funsies. How about you guys share with us what your favorite snack foods? I just want to try something different. I want to try going outside the geekiness, you know, because we can bring that to the table. But I thought it'd be fun to find out, you know, what people's favorite, like what your favorite movie theater food is, or just your favorite junk food. You know, Snickers, Butterfinger, Lay's potato chips. You know what, like, just, I don't know. I'm curious. I want to know about you guys. So what? Yeah, you know, what are your favorite snack foods / junk food? Just so we can have an interesting conversation. So do you have? I mean, you wanted a general feedback question, but do you have like a hardcore question? Or do you just want to let them know where they can respond to us?
I would think that's sufficient this time. I mean, as always, there's other questions that they can ask us, and continue the discussion on the site and in the next episode. And as always, you can call the voicemail line at 502-526-5821. Just leave your name and what show it's for, because we have multiple shows on the network. You can send your feedback to feedback@geekcastradio.com. You can comment on the post on the Facebook fan page by searching Geekcast Radio Network. You can go to the geekcastradio.com and comment on this episode post. And I think that pretty much sums up the feedback.
And you can find myself on Twitter at BoothNinja81. You can ask me questions there. Hashtag Altered Geek. Steve?
Yes. Mine is at SCP21, and yes, the Altered Geek helps, because then we can filter it and make sure that we don't lose it.
So, all right, well, hopefully we did a lot better this week, catching up and making sure we got everyone's comments in here, or at least shared some of the information they shared with us. Keep them coming, guys. It's awesome to have user feedback. But still don't have a proper sign-off for the show. Guys, drop the ball on that one. No one wanted to take a shot at that.
No, nobody did, and I just, for shits and giggles, I always put the last sentence of the episode post. I put, so get unplugged from the web and get altered with the Altered Geeks, because but that's more of a signing off for text. It doesn't sound
You know
right
what?
when somebody's actually saying it.
You know what? That works for me. We're out until next week.
Peace.